Liberal Wisconsin, where the political party is just beginning. Welcome to the Devil's Advocate Show. Best friends proving it's never personal, only politics.
Please allow me to introduce myself.
Now here are your hosts, Dom and Crute.
Welcome back to the Devil's Advocates Radio Show, sliding into the 5 o'clock happy hour, and I swear to goodness we're going to do some Walker bashing in this hour. But we're also continuing our unscientific straw poll. If you didn't hear that, Crute for Wisconsin fellow dropped out of the gubernatorial race. This race just started to heat up, and I see the path forward, and it's not Crute for Wisconsin, and it's certainly not Tony Evers. But anyways, I digress. Please join us. You can always throw your weight behind your favorite candidate. Dom's keeping track, keeping score. You can text us. You can call us. You can tweet us at Devil Radio, but the phone number, most importantly, is 844-967-2789. Let's go back to him, Dom.
Pizza Box Mike, you are next. Thank you for calling, my friend. What do you think?
Well, Crudy, congratulations on the day that you decided no longer to pursue the campaign. The Poor People's Campaign got started today. So we did our Walker bashing for a little while, but hey, I'm okay with you not being in the race because we need you on the radio and on the road when we're covering events. We'll be doing the same thing we've been doing for 7 years. Just keep doing it. And there was nothing wrong with getting in because, yes, you represented a slice of the pie as well of people that wanted to have what you were saying, not like Trump and company, but you were saying things that we all want to say too and just don't have that platform for it. So I agree with everybody getting in. I'm only going to say that I think that there's 3 good candidates at the top, and the one I know the least about, well, you know, I went and looked on Facebook, and years ago, I blocked Kelderoy from me on Facebook, so I must have done something where
What'd she do?
Probably.
Or what'd you do?
No, exactly. It was probably 2011. And maybe I blew the horn too loud and, you know, I was wild. But, see, people got to understand, some of us are coming in at different levels. And I'm right where I'm supposed to be, and you're where you're supposed to be. And, Dom, you just keep rolling them up, buddy. We're all in the right place. And we're going to come out okay in this no matter what happens because we don't stop fighting because we are all Badgers, even though I think those 84 they got around are ridiculous and have nothing to do with what our struggles are. The Poor People's Campaign is really going to hopefully take off. I had to walk out of our meeting because they were, you know, talking about wanting to get arrested, but Madison Police, we talked with them, and it was with one officer his family, and he spent many nights with us in the Capitol, and then he got up and worked his shift as a protect and serve officer. So I have trust for him, and we want this movement to be about working with rational people for the right reasons and not just making a point if it puts people at risk or divides us, like you said. So, but I did take issue when they said, well, we do have a permit from the Capitol to be on the west side outside, and I kind of stood up and said, look, I didn't get arrested, 12 times at the Capitol already defeating this ridiculous notion. We have a permit. It's called the Constitution. And if we're not going to go in and make our voices be heard every time we come to rally at the Capitol, inside the Capitol where it needs to be heard, where it echoes, and staffers hear it, and then they start going, hey, what was going on here? And the police are looking nervous. Look, we don't want anybody to think anybody's going to get hurt, but I ain't worried about you feeling nervous when people are starving and dying and suffering in the streets. This has got to be something that we all work on, and it's just getting started. So, Crudy,
yes,
nice job, buddy. And
fair to middling job at best.
Keep pushing, man.
Okay, so who do you like in the straw poll, though, Pizza Box Mike?
You got to pick one. You can't pick 3. I mean, just
put one at the top of your list for now.
I'm having a hard time finding people arguing with Calda. But, you know, I'd have to go listen a little bit more. But I believe that, you know, she's probably a pretty good voice. I do agree that Malin Mitchell, man, he sounds like me some days, and I like that. And I also like Mike McKay because he's a Wisconsin guy that I can trust. And I'm on board with you on the Tony Evers thing. I tried to talk to him a few times. Doesn't seem like he's on the level I'm at.
Well, you know what, Tony and Mike, we appreciate your call, and all fine candidates.
But you didn't pick one, so you don't get a vote.
I thought you said Kelda.
No, you went on to say like 3 other ones. Let's confirm. Mike, did you say Kelda, or are you not answering the question?
Well, no. When's the primary? Because I don't want to go off early. See
August
what I
14th.
mean? I don't want to.
Come on, man. It's not an endorsement. It's an unscientific straw poll. Just pick one.
Right now, I'm focused on the action that takes place before the election instead of after the election. We'll worry about that when I get to it.
Okay,
we'll see who
Michael.
crosses paths with us on the road.
We're putting you down for a none of the above.
Wow, Mike, you should put your hat in the ring. That is a very political answer you just gave us for a non-answer, but we always appreciate it.
Yeah, what a triangulation that man just made. You know what I did say to Mike McCabe on Saturday?
What's that?
Off the record, but I'll make it on the record. I can on the record myself. I said, Mike, you check like 95, 98% of all my boxes. Here's my only concern about you. Your integrity gets in the way. I said, if that's the worst I can say about your candidacy, it's got too much integrity, and you're going against this son of a bitch who's got no integrity, well, I'd rather be accused of having too much integrity, but no one's ever accused Scott Walker of that. One of our friends, big, ugly conservative Keith, he did text me a couple times. Crute was the only viable one. And my response was, and then he got, I think perhaps the dig of the day, shorter than the governor's presidential run. Oh, that stings. I should have held out for like another month just so I could say I made it. Well, I still would have made it to the votes.
Man, that comparison, like Walker's like the Rolling Stones and you New Kids on the Block, man. 844-967-2789.
Well, Walker was burning 90 grand a day, and I don't think I spent more than 500-ish.
Joe from Tucson, welcome to the Devil's Advocates. What do you got for us today?
Oh, man, I say just, you know what? A write-in vote for Crudy is still a vote.
Okay, man, we'll take yours.
An option explored.
That's about one more vote than I got in the straw poll the other day.
No, that's not fair because you know what? The thing I like about you is you always define what you stand for. And I think that that's a rare quality. And I think that that is the problem with the Democratic Party right now. They're in a massive identity crisis, and you don't have an identity crisis. You stand, you know exactly who you are. You've been cutting your teeth, arguing political debates left and right for years and years and years and years.
Well, so, Joe, I'm not dropping out because I don't feel like I understand the issues. Some of being a politician, I don't have the triangulation. And maybe it's through the course of learning, even the message discipline. Because my whole thought process is you don't say the same thing ad nauseum. It gets boring. Who wants to hear that, right? I know I said that the last 5 speeches. I don't want to use the same story. But that is the necessity of politics. I mean, even Senator Tammy Baldwin here in the state of Wisconsin she tells the same story. It's the consistent messaging with her advertising. I mean, it's all part of the broader story. Now, me, Joe, I just can't stay on topic. One day I'm talking about this, the next day I'm talking about that, because they're all issues that, at least have my passion, Joe. But, hey, man, you got Wisconsin roots? You want to take part in the straw poll?
Oh, well, wait, just 1 second, though. I mean, I was going to say, though, it is good to be off topic in a lot of ways, but there has to be some sort of reconnection back with what are they talking about around their dinner table. And I don't think that people are yakking about Russia. I don't think they're talking about that. They're not talking about good old days of Barack Obama either. They're not talking about they don't even know what Democrats stand for. I think that is the true crime right now, is the unexamined Democrat is the reason why we Democrats are in the middle right now of the worst collective losing streak in 100 years. This is not normal. And, we're sliding into really weird numbers right now. And the thing is, I don't even think that we realize that there's a hyper focus and we're detailing the Trump annihilation of this country, but there's no opposition party with a clear opposite That's what opposition looks like, is a cogent way forward. Despondent voters are pulling back because they don't see anything that they can identify as a vehicle that they can jump in and boogie on, you know?
Well, Joe...
That's also the fascination. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, that's okay,
Democrats,
man. Maybe I'm a bad candidate. I should listen to the voters instead of talking so damn much. Joe, I keep hearing the blue wave, the blue tsunami, the blue wave's coming. If there is a quote-unquote blue wave coming, it's in spite of the efforts of the strategists, the consultants, the Democratic class. I am so unimpressed. I mean, some of these insiders have literally worked against the Devil's Advocates radio show because they're show favorites. If someone from the Democratic Governors Association came on and Walker bashed, somehow they're endorsing my candidacy. I mean, I think it's ludicrous. We can't book the DNC. We can't book the DGA. We can't book the DPW. And outside of these acronyms and initials, I just think it's short-sightedness, Joe. It's not a blue wave. If anything, I would believe there might be a pink wave coming. I mean, right here in the state of Wisconsin, 10th Senate District, Patty Schrackner. We've got the new Justice Dallet, and we will see how the voting turns out in these special elections. But the 42nd Assembly District on June 12th, my birthday, I hope we're congratulating Ann Groves Lloyd as the new assembly person from the 42nd. I'm not convinced it's a blue wave. If there's an opposition party,
no way.
It's women. Women are rising up. Joe, Dom and I were in the streets in D.C. the day after Trump's inauguration. That was the most powerful movement of humanity I have ever seen. And those women are fired up and ready to go. And, Joe, if they get themselves together, well, I think they're a hell of a opposition party. And I hope they listen to Resistance Radio.
Thank you for the call, Joe. That aside...
Don't put him down for a creep.
What is also necessary is... a candidate that people can look to believe in, to inspire them. Say what you want about Donald Trump, he certainly gets the crowd going.
Well, he got the crowd going, but if I look, he didn't turn out any more voters. The reason the Democrats lost right here in the state of Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, it's not because Trump turned them out. There were no more Republican voters than there were under Mitt Romney. It's because we failed to turn out, especially African-American voters here in the city of Milwaukee.
Do you think that has anything to do with the candidate?
I think it's a big part to do with the candidate. I think it's the fact she didn't come and campaign in our state. And quite frankly, maybe it's misogyny. Maybe it was anti-women. I don't know. But I got to think that there are plenty of women out there that are mad as hell, and they're not going to take it anymore.
Well, hell, if you can't find a Dem, maybe looking at what the Republicans are doing and listening to, our current governor, Scott Walker, maybe that will motivate you.
Let's come back. Let's do some Walker bashing. I'm tired of talking about Crudy. He's so boring. Come back with us. More Devil's Advocates. Phone still open, 844-967-2789.
American women deserve better, and American women are here to fight back.
They'd like to take me out for a lot of reasons far bigger than just this election.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Join the resistance against dirty carpets. Call Zero Res Madison today for our summer special. Clean and sanitize 3 rooms for only $139. Call 608-848-9000 or schedule online at ZeroResMadison.com. Zero Res, spell it forward or backward, it's the right way to clean.
Hey folks, sexy liberal Stephanie Miller here. Most new Wisconsin jobs are in Dane County, it's true. Some of my listeners are relocating to Madison. Many already commute there. When asked where to turn for a trusted real estate team that understands Madison, I say the same thing. Solidarity Realty. They help you through the process and protect your consumer rights. They live their values, building community, promoting sustainability and diversity. Find them today at solidarityrealty.com and tell them Stephanie Miller sent you.
Join the resistance against dirty carpets. Call Zero Res Madison today for our summer special. Clean and sanitize 3 rooms for only $139. Call 608-848-9000 or schedule online at ZeroResMadison.com. Zero Res, spell it forward or backward, it's the right way to clean.
On marijuana, unfortunately, as a public health issue and a public safety issue, I've opposed that.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta, how can medical marijuana help those addicted to opioids?
There's 3 big things. There's clear consensus now that cannabis can treat pain. That is not an opinion. That is a consensus conclusion by big scientific bodies like the National Academy of Science. We also know that it can help treat the withdrawal symptoms of opioids. People, they don't want to be on them anymore. They want to quit, but they develop the terrible withdrawal symptoms. And now we have evidence that it can actually help heal the part of the brain that is diseased in someone who's an opioid addict. If you had to start from scratch and design a substance to help lead us out of the opioid epidemic, like in a lab, it would probably look very much like cannabis.
Call Governor Scott Walker at 608-266-1212. Tell him good people do smoke marijuana. This message was paid for by the People for People Corporation. Donate online at p4ppc.org, p4ppc.org.
Do you own a rental property, or would you like to partner with a rental investment team? Call the pros you can trust at CCL Management. Rental expertise second to none, a general contractor on staff to direct repairs and improvements, and real estate brokerage services tailored to the small investor. If you're ready to invest in rental property or just need professionals to manage your real estate portfolio, call us, CCL Management, at 608-833-0009 or visit us on the web at cclmanagement.com.
Welcome back. A good friend of ours, a fine sponsor. He's Lenny Mattioli. He's Crazy E-Bike Lenny, and he's always selling e-bikes. Lenny, welcome back to the show, man. I got to tell you, I've been missing your ads on the radio. What happened, Len?
Any potential advertisers that were considering using Devil's Advocate, listen to this. We ran an ad 10 days. We sold every one. Every single one.
The Devil's Advocates.
Merchandising!
Every single one.
The Devil's Advocates, where there's always time for Scott Walker bashing. Hashtag Walker bashing.
And we are back. Thank you for listening to the Devil's Advocates radio show on Wisconsin's Resistance Radio Network. Also streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. On Twitter at Devil Radio. And the phone lines are open, 844-967-2789.
Dominic, I'm going to save the Walker bashing for 6 minutes from now, but a plan, at least this is what they claim the plan is, Dem plan to quickly pivot to general election to avoid being caught flat-footed in Wisconsin governor race. Patrick Marley, Journal-Sentinel, seeking to minimize GOP Governor Scott Walker's ability to take advantage of the jam-packed Democratic primary. Strategists have devised a plan to quickly pivot from the primary to the general election. The winner of the August 14th primary is expected to be depleted of campaign cash by then, giving Walker and his allies an opportunity to fill the airwaves with ads defining the Democratic nominee. I'd start messaging right now on affordable radio, but no one's listened to my advice at all, have they, Dom? I read on. To make sure the Democratic nominee, whoever it is, has at least some cash to respond, state and national Democrats are quietly building a network of donors and post-primary game plan. The effort is being funded in part by the Democratic Governors Association. They don't come around here no more, and is being overseen by Tom Russell, the 2010 campaign manager for former Senator Russ Feingold. Here's a quote. I assume you're going to see a full soup to nuts campaign out of Tom Russell's work, said one Democratic strategist familiar with the outlines of the plan. Russell confirmed he had a contract with the DGA, but otherwise declined to talk about the effort. Well, Dom, I get this. You got to have a plug-in campaign ready. But what do you do if the victorious campaign on August 15th doesn't like Feingold's former campaign guy, Tom Russell, right?
Right.
I mean, what? Now the party's going to dictate the campaign from August 15th to the finish line? I mean, I'm sure anyone would cash the checks, but they're going to come with some strings attached.
The Democratic plan is being put together as Walker develops a strategy to simultaneously excite his base and reach out to independent voters. Walker has raised concerns about a blue wave this fall and understands the importance of appealing to swing voters while also making sure the Republican base is enthused, according to people familiar with his campaign plans. Many large-dollar Democratic donors are sitting out the primary and waiting to see who emerges in August. Russell is seeking pledges from some of those donors so that money is readily available to the nominee. He also expects to develop plans to quickly raise money online after the primary from those who give in small amounts.
You know, I had just started being included in the little multiple candidate pictures. That's my PolitiFact photo.
No, it's not.
Good looking guy. Yeah, that's the one we took for PolitiFact.
That's your obituary photo, man.
Oh! You and Keith, someone's looking to get there.
I'm just saying.
I'm going to give you the Evers treatment here in a minute. Come back with us. Don't forget, we're doing sort of an unscientific, super unofficial straw poll. We want to find out who's your favorite. I suspect it's not Scott Walker, but you can vote for Walker if you're brave. But like to know, you can text it to us at 844-967-2789. You can call us on the phones. You can tweet us out at Devil Radio. More of us and some Walker bashing. I promised I deliver. It's the only campaign promise I will deliver on all cycle. Walker bashing after this short break.
No, I'm going to stay for a while. How about that? Freedom.
Melissa from Michigan. I work an extra part-time job serving lunch at my child's school, but I still can't afford to put food on our table.
Daniel from California. Choosing whether to pay the rent or pay to fix the car to get to work doesn't leave us with much at all. Now we can't even pay for meals.
Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
The Resistance is live 7 days a week here on 1510 AM WRRD, Wisconsin's Resistance Radio. Tune in Saturdays for Busted Pencils, fully leaded education talk with Dr. Tim Slekar, 11 a.m. to noon. Then it's the voice of the voiceless, champion of the working class. Earl Ingram's Saturday show is live from 12 to 3 p.m. Then Right Meets Left with the Joel and Joe Costa Show, Republican State Rep Joel Clayfish, and Democratic State Rep Joe Costa Zamaripa go toe-to-toe from 3 to 4. Always streaming at newstalk1510am.com, Wisconsin's Resistance Radio.
Well, you are listening to Wisconsin's Resistance Radio Network. Ooh, I just felt a trickle down. No, I don't recall doing it.
Hi, Resistance Radio listeners. This is Kim Schrader, the president of the Milwaukee Teachers Education Association. We are the 4,600 educators who make Milwaukee's public education system possible. MTA members are the guardians of public education because every single day we are fighting to strengthen and protect public schools our students deserve. MTA educators are leading the fight in Milwaukee public schools for smaller class sizes, more recess, physical education, art, and music opportunities for every child in MPS. MTA educators are the champions for healthier school meals, positive discipline practices, equitable schools, and schools that partner with parents. MTA members are the guardians of public education, and we are proud to teach all children, regardless of their zip code. To learn more, follow us on Facebook at the Milwaukee Teachers Education Association.
J.D. Davis Funeral Home, located at 4803 West Burleigh Street, is dedicated, dignified, and distinguished in serving you in your time of need. Direct cremation specials starting at a very low cost of $595. That does not include cremation permit or crematory fee. Traditional funeral packages starting at $1,995 with a 20-gauge metal casket included. Title 19, Milwaukee County General Assistance accepted. Call today, 414-444-8300.
Have a drink at Regano's Roman Coin. This neighborhood corner tavern is as classic as the street it occupies. Family owned and operated since 1966, Regano's Roman Coin is located in a former Pabst Tide House on historic Brady Street, serving an array of craft beers with a focus on Wisconsin breweries. Also, weekly drink specials, trivia on Wednesdays, seasonal sporting events, parties hosted for all occasions, and pet friendly. Open 11 a.m. Tuesday through Friday, 10 a.m. Saturday and Sunday, closed on Monday. Regano's Roman Coin, Milwaukee's pet friendly, cash only order and classic corner tavern.
For Wisconsin's Resistance Radio, my name is Keith Gosted. Plastic microfibers have been found in Milwaukee beer samples. A study published last month in PLOS 1 showed microplastics in 33 water samples in 7 cities that source water from the Great Lakes, including Milwaukee. Of beers sampled, one brewed in Chicago had the highest count, while another from the same city had the lowest count of microfibers. No correlation was found between the water source and the amount of plastic particles found in beers, indicating a possibility that brewing processes or other ingredients may be responsible. The Wisconsin GOP has endorsed Leah Vukmer's nomination to run against Senator Tammy Baldwin. Vukmer received 72% of the votes at the convention held in Milwaukee. Vukmer is an anti-LGBTQ candidate, while Baldwin is the first openly gay person elected to the Senate. For Wisconsin's Resistance Radio, my name is Keith Gosted.
The Devil's Advocates. Sausage making never looks so good.
Welcome back to the Devil's Advocates Radio Show. Just checking my messages during the break. I had a very gracious message from candidate Matt Flynn. He said, you know, Mike, the forums are going to be a lot tamer without you there. I'll take that as a compliment, Matt. You know, I'm looking for compliments right now. My bruised ego needs a little boost. I'll take it anywhere I can get it. We're doing a little bit of an unofficial straw poll at 844-967-2789. But if I can deliver on only one campaign promise this cycle, it will be the Walker Bash right freaking now. Let's do it.
You know, the Republicans, the Wisconsin GOP, they had their convention in Milwaukee here this weekend, Crudy. And, you know, let
me give Andy Gronick a little bit of credit.
What's
At
that?
least he was out there sticking it to Scott Walker out in front. He told me that he was getting heckled. You know, it's not easy to he did this stage and they did videos and he did a mobile billboard. Now, I thought it was, you know, an interesting take, and anything that seems like a protest to me, I'm for.
So the Republicans all got together. I'm going to get heckled by old white men. I mean, so what?
What else would be at the Republican convention? Old white men and Nurse Ratchet.
And Nurse Ratchet. WIS-I.
Should we go there for just a second?
Yes, but WIS-I did provide video and audio for this, and I grabbed it and threw it up on our Facebook page as well. And I got to tell you, we had more people watching and listening to our fine program here on the weekend, the
Educators Amplified Gubernatorial Edition,
than there were in the
I heard there was some
of the viewership for WIS-I for the Wisconsin Republican Convention.
I heard there were some fireworks in hour one of that debate. You know, I think it was Jim Carlson came up to me after it, and he said, it wasn't really supposed to be a debate. And I'm like, nobody told me that.
What?
And then someone from WEAC came up to me during hour 2 or hour 3 and said, you know, I wish these second and third hours were more like the first.
This is what I'm saying, people. Come on, you gotta take
mixed messages.
Take some punches, throw some jabs. This is kind of the point. But let's get to Bill Glauber, the Wisconsin Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Round 1 went to Leah Vukmer. But the race for the Republican nomination for U.S. Senate looks set to go the distance. Vukmer overwhelmingly won the endorsement at Saturday's state Republican Party convention with about 72% of the vote, but her rival, Kevin Nicholson, vowed to press on to the August 14th primary.
Go for it, Nicholson.
Do it.
Here's what I would say. This, I think, makes the point. The inside the room versus outside the room. I cannot imagine amongst the rank and file, you know, just the average Republican in the state of Wisconsin, that Leah Vukmer is embraced in the same way that she is inside the GOP convention and the delegates. Let's not forget, Team Terrorist. Is that what won her the vote? I mean, the anti-Tammy Baldwin associate her with Khalid Sheikh Mohammed.
I don't think
the
Republicans don't give a damn about that. They come on, they voted for Trump, dude. You think this is going to make them
As
all
did
shy?
Buchmer, for that matter.
No,
After the
proudly.
Accent Hollywood tape came out, she made an ad for Trump.
Together we've delivered in Wisconsin, she said. Together we broke the stranglehold of public sector unions, and we created an economic miracle in our state. They call me a economic miracle.
Oh, it's miraculous that you would make a claim like that.
They call me a career politician. They call us insiders. They call us the establishment. But
I call you Nurse Ratched.
She pitched herself as someone who could stand her ground against Baldwin. Let's see if Nicholson has any quotes here. Nicholson said that Trump has proven it will take outsiders to push back on this political aristocracy in Washington. But in a bow to the importance of party, he added, "We're not here today to fight each other, but we're here to unite to defeat a liberal ideology that Baldwin believes in."
When you're outside, we'll discuss whatever problem you have, okay?
So there you go. Nurse Ratched wins. I told you, crew.
She body slammed Nicholson. I didn't think it would be.
Told you.
I thought it'd be closer than that. I mean, he's had $3.5 million. When you look at the opinion polling, he's doubling Buchmer. But when you get just the coldest hearted of the white angry men together in a room, they love them some Nurse Ratched.
Well, let's do some Walker bashing. We got to get to this quick. We're going to run out of time here.
Don't make me a liar.
Governor Walker was
I'd be like Walker
on Mike Goucher yesterday, of course, after his, I guess, was that pre-taped? I guess I'm not clear when
Goucher, yeah, that would have happened on Friday
That would have happened on Friday. Here we go. Let's just get to it. Walker on Goucher. Remember, Walker went up and told these Republicans, you got to wake up. You got to wake up. This
blue wave.
A blue wave coming. Let's hear cut number one.
Well, the Democrats are, and you hear the rhetoric, not just from a candidate here, a candidate there, consistently from the candidates running for governor. I think it's not just they're moving further and further to the left. Their rhetoric is filled with anger and hatred. What I'm saying repeatedly, and I'll say it going forward, just as I did over the weekend at the convention, is that we need to respond as Republicans, not with anger, hatred, but with optimism and organization. We got to get motivated. I think in a time when things are good, lowest unemployment rate, more money in schools, lowering taxes, freezing tuition, #1 ranked healthcare system in the nation for quality, all those are really good things. But a lot of voters, even in the middle, are somewhat complacent about things. We got to get to them and wake them up.
You know, I'm a Boy Scout. Now, Kurt, you talked about messaging.
Eagle Scout.
Oh, yeah, Eagle Scout. You talk about messaging.
He's disciplined. He will hoist the same lie after lie after lie.
Anger and hatred, anger and hatred, anger and hatred.
Well, that part might be true. I mean, he divided and conquered us, Tom, right? Like we started it. Like Tony Evers. Tony, you started it. Well, Scott Walker started it. He was the one with Diane Hendricks telling, well, divide and conquer. Starts with the public sector unions.
He's the one that said it. He's the one that did it. He's the one that turned out for the Republicans. Goucher asked him, you know, this anger and hatred, to whom? To Trump? To you? What are you talking about? Who is this directed at cut to?
Oh, I think it goes down the line. Certainly, there's a lot of it directed at the president. For years, there's been directed at me. I tell people, someone asked me when I was up in Door County, they said, well, what do you mean by that? I said, go to any website that talks about anything I've done. You can see the long list of things out there. But you even hear it from the candidates. I mean, even some of the most mild-mannered candidates. Now, I'm used to it. I can take it. I can understand it.
You
but
can't.
They talk about
you're
being
intimidated,
an idiot, being
sir.
a moron, being upset about things. It's not just, hey, I have a difference of opinion. These are people, at least in the far left of the party, who are really, really pumped up and motivated. That's who the Democrats running for governor are really keying their message to. And we need to counter that. Not just to gin up Republicans, but I think to make the case with the vast majority of independents that, hey, we've got an optimistic message. We got a positive vision for the future. I think most voters in the state want to vote for something, not against something.
He has no case to make with independents. The reasoned, the independent-minded, and Dom, I'd put you in that category. Is there any way in hell that a thoughtful independent voter is saying, well, Scott Walker, he's so positive?
I mean, there may be. I'm not one of them, but, you know, all you got to do is
because you're
listen
thoughtful
to the guy
and reason.
And know that he divides and conquers. That is his strategy. That is what he does well. And he sticks to message. Goucher asks him, you're not saying that Republicans have no anger or hatred, are you?
Oh, I think in politics in general, there's too much of that. But what I'm arguing to folks is let's not counter it with that. Let's not counter it with anger and hatred. Instead, let's go out and tell people about the positive things we've done for the people of Wisconsin. Let's lay out an optimistic vision going forward. Let's lay out the contrast, but let's focus on getting ginned up about being concerned about things we might lose that have been positive for the state and not respond attack with attack.
And Governor Walker, didn't you drop out of the race and then eventually endorse Mr. Anger and Hatred himself, Donald Trump?
Said he had campaigned with him when he eventually comes to Wisconsin. And of course, Walker fully expects Donald Trump to come campaigning for him in Wisconsin.
Let's keep going on the Democrats and Foxconn. Cut 4.
You've had any number of candidates say they're going to try and cut the deal, push back in the deal, get rid of the deal. You had one of the candidates, one of the attorneys running, said he was going to wait and see and pounce on them if the contract in any way was not done correctly. I think they are going out of their way to say, to forecast, that if any one of them is elected governor, they want to find a way to cut Foxconn out of the deal. To me,
Yes.
the simple reality is if they didn't fulfill the commitments the state made, any company, I think, would be inclined to say, well, geez, we were offered a reasonable path for 13,000 jobs, for $10 billion of investment. I think worse than just the impact it could have on that company is what other company in America, what other company in the world would consider coming to this state if that's the kind of leadership that's going to be in place?
How about we build some small businesses here instead of giving a foreign corporation, if they're at $9 billion and we, the taxpayers, are at $4.5 billion, we're investing half the capital. No, I don't want any other foreign corporations to come here and have you make a deal on the back of the napkin.
Are you telling me that another corporation wouldn't come here and want to take $4.5 billion to match their 50% of what their investment? Who would? No one's going to come here if you don't do it for Foxconn.
Hell, you're doing it for Kimberly-Clark, and they didn't even want the money. They want to close their plant because they are taking advantage of the Trump tax cuts. I don't hear Walker campaigning on the tax cuts, though. Do you, Don?
Not yet. Goucher asked Governor Walker, Foxconn, did they express any concerns to you about this Cut 5?
No, what they've said is they like the working relationship, they like the partnership, they like not just working with Republicans. I mean, you look at people like Peter Barca, who really voted for his district, voted for the good-paying, family-supporting jobs there.
Yep,
they like that partnership. They're just confused. As you can imagine, anyone would be from outside of this state, certainly anywhere around the world, to think, hey, we're bringing all these jobs. These are all these states around the country wanted, we're really pushing to get those jobs. Why wouldn't somebody want those? And I think the simple reality is it's a political season. If it was a year from now, you'd be hearing Democrats as well as Republicans saying this is amazing, biggest economic development project in the history of the state. And as we announced last Monday, phase one alone, there were over $100 million to 27 companies, of which 98% is going to Wisconsin-based companies, just in the first phase for companies in Black River Falls, in Seymour, in Brownsville, as well as in Racine. This is going to benefit people all over the state of Wisconsin.
Ironically, just mostly Scott Walker donors.
Jen Steele reporting in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Foxconn selects Hammes Company as master planner for the Mount Pleasant factory.
Does it say how much they gave to Walker's campaign historically?
No. All they do is they say Hammes, a company led by a Republican mega donor who has close ties to Governor Scott Walker.
So out of the $100 million of the initial investment, how much of that's getting kicked back to the Walker re-election campaign?
Well, in our unique laws here, Crudy, we'll never know because that'll all go to third-party groups. Let's keep going. Goucher says to Walker, the Democrats say use the money for schools, use this money for roads. What do you say, Governor Walker? Cut 6.
And I look at that and say, when they were in charge 8 years ago, why didn't they do it?
National
This was the choice
recession.
To be made. Why didn't they do it? 8 years ago, they cut money to public education. We put more actual dollars into public education than ever before in this budget. 8 years ago, they chose to raise taxes, raid from the transportation fund, push forward a $3.6 billion budget deficit that we inherited. That's what happened the last time Democrats were in charge of state government. We've been able to look over the next decade and a half and say we can put on the table incentives that not only bring 13,000 good-paying family-supporting jobs, another 22,000 indirect and induced jobs, but up to 10,000 construction jobs, and all these small businesses across the state will benefit from the contracts and still put more money in schools, still put more money in the UW system, still put more money in our technical college system, still have the best healthcare systems in the nation ranked for quality. We have done those things. They had their chance 8 years ago, and we were in horrible shape back then.
Yeah, during the Jim Doyle National Recession. Jim Doyle started that recession. He took down Lehman Brothers, didn't you know, Dom?
I did not know.
And crashed the mortgage market and the housing prices. That Jim Doyle, he was disastrous.
Wow, he was quite a force of nature, that Jim Doyle.
Talking about message discipline, do you hear how he repeats the same lies over
Well, he's been
and
doing it a long
over
time, but you see
and
how he
over
stumbles
again.
over the new lies a little bit.
Yeah, the new lies, they're
not quite there yet. He'll get there. By the time the debates roll around with whoever is his opponent in the gubernatorial election, he'll have that down nice and smooth.
Come back with us. Devil's Advocate's going to wrap up the unscientific straw poll for the day. Throw your votes out there. You can text us at 844-967-2789. Tweet us out at Devil Radio. Put a comment on the Facebook live stream. Or just call us the old traditional way. It's toll free all across the state. Once again, that number 844-967-2789.
A positive, conservative message can rise to the top of the field.
My good friend, Governor Scott Walker.
And they literally and figuratively get hooked, and once they get hooked, there's no going back.
Whoever says that is a stupid idiot.
You wanted to see me?
Yes, please, have a seat. So here's the thing. When this company brought you on, we took a chance on you. You didn't have that 4-year college degree we typically look for.
Right.
But we gave you a shot anyway. And since then, you've worked incredibly hard and given it your all.
Thanks.
You've been an important asset to the team, but I don't think you can be an intern here anymore. We want to hire you.
You're serious?
Absolutely.
Find your next great employee. Introduce yourself to the Grads of Life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
I won't let you down.
I know.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
Today we decided to walk to school. The light counted. 15, 14.
31? I mean, 13?
We took a left on Carroll Street. Danny's smart, but he gets distracted. He realized he forgot his homework. I hope he doesn't have another bad day at school.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. That's why there's Understood.org, a free resource for the parents of the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues. Go from misunderstanding to Understood.org. Brought to you by Understood and the Ad Council.
Ignacio, what do you got for us today?
Hey, I quit paying attention for like maybe one day, and all hell breaks loose. That goes to show me I got to pay attention every single day to your radio program, or else who knows what'll happen.
If you don't listen to the Devil's Advocates 3 hours every day, Nacho, you're missing a lot.
You got that right. I just learned that today. I turned it on and I'm listening, and you really just rocked my world today. I was just totally blown away.
Save the $2 on tomorrow's paper. Listen to the Devil's Advocates today.
Totally blown away.
Brad Zog, owner of Zero Res Madison. Brad, why should people use Zero Res Madison?
Why wouldn't you clean your carpets like this? We've got a patented system. We also do another step that most people don't do. We have a double rotating brush machine that we use when we pre-treat the carpet. So this helps dig up any of that stuff that's deeper in your carpet that the vacuum doesn't get. We're going to provide that intermediary step before we clean with our empowered water.
Call Zero Res today, 608-848-9000. Zero Res. Spell it forward or backward. It's the right way to clean. Scott Walker thinks Wisconsin should once again hire him as governor.
You wouldn't hire me to be a neurosurgeon.
This is a person who has not worked in the private sector since 1993.
You wouldn't hire me to run condos. You wouldn't hire me to run HP.
And has made his political career.
You probably wouldn't hire me to run the United States Senate.
By using divisive tactics to the benefit of his corporate donors.
The first step is we're going to deal with collective bargaining for all public employee unions. Because you divide and conquer.
Now he supports the largest publicly funded government subsidy of a foreign corporation in American history.
You know, they can go suck lemons.
And Scott Walker has yet to live up to his first campaign promise to create 250,000 jobs.
Is this a campaign promise? Something you want to be held to?
Absolutely.
Scott Walker, we the people are done sucking your lemons. This message was paid for by the People for People Corporation. Donate online at p4ppc.org, p4ppc.org.
Do you own a rental property, or would you like to partner with a rental investment team? Call the pros you can trust at CCL Management. Rental expertise second to none, a general contractor on staff to direct repairs and improvements, and real estate brokerage services tailored to the small investor. If you're ready to invest in rental property or just need professionals to manage your real estate portfolio, call us, CCL Management, at 608-833-0009 or visit us on the web at cclmanagement.com.
Tall of political talk. Dom and Krutz are the Devil's Advocates.
And we are back. Thank you for listening to the Devil's Advocates. 844-967-2789. We're doing some Walker bashing. I have a couple of calls. Let's get to one. Gary from Sussex. Hey, Gary, welcome to the Devil's Advocates.
A conservative and a self-described nice guy.
Hey, what's up, Gary?
Hey, Gary.
Yeah, hey, thanks for taking my call. You know, your mantra is to listen to you guys 3 hours a day, okay? I'm a heating contractor, so I can't listen for 3 hours a day. I listen to guys basically on my way home or between jobs. But I'm a conservative. I love your show. I like to be entertained. You guys entertain me. I do laugh a lot. You guys make me laugh. You guys are nice guys, but let me ask you a question once. Who is your president of the United States?
Who is mine?
Yeah, who is yours?
I'm still stuck in Barack Obama land. No, of course it's Donald Trump. I acknowledge the presidency. He's just hashtag not my president, but go ahead.
All right. When I did not vote for Barack Obama, but when he won, I'm a conservative. I accept the fact that he's president of the United States and he's my president. Whether I agree with him or not, I would show him respect. If he was in the town, I would invite him over for dinner just because he's president of the United States. And I understand what you guys are bashing and everything, but you guys, you got to just accept the fact that he's going to be president for the next 2 years yet.
Well, that's not a foregone conclusion yet, Gary. And I'd point out my partner Dominic shook the man's hand. Dom gave him the bump he needed to become the president.
I'm sorry, America.
Okay, well, listen, once. As far as the Republican convention this weekend, you guys would have been way better off if Kevin Nicholson would have ended up getting the nod, because I don't think that he has a chance in HE double toothpicks to win against, in November.
I don't even think he could win the Nicholson family straw poll, Gary.
Well, I know. Oh, absolutely right. His parents hate him. They donated $50,000 to Tammy Baldwin.
I better not find out my wife gave money to Walker's campaign.
Oh yeah,
Gary, you want to get in the straw poll, or are you still standing with Walker? We could put you down for a Walker.
Put me down for Walker because I'm 1/3 of your Republican listeners. I'm trying to get my friends to. I tell all my friends. I used to listen to Dan O'Donnell in the morning. He's the guy that actually tipped me off about you guys. He was mentioned one day talking about something, and he said, "Yeah, 1510 Devil's Advocate. There's this show on a Waukesha or something like that. So I turned you guys on, and I've been listening ever since. So I listen to you guys 90% of the time when I got my radio on.
Well, Dan O'Donnell's a fairly nice guy in his own right, Gary, and you don't seem half bad for a conservative. Hope you keep listening. I like Dan O'Donnell. I often find myself listening to righties.
Let's get to some Scott Walker. We're going to just jump to the last one here because we're running out of time. Cut number 11, Scott Walker on Mike Goucher. Would you legalize marijuana?
I would not, and the reason is simple. Everywhere I go, doesn't matter whether it's in Dane County, arguably one of the most liberal counties, not just in the state, but in the country, or anywhere else across the state. When I talk to law enforcement, when I talk to people out on dealing with the crisis that we deal with, opioids and drugs, whether it's heroin, meth, or others out there, I hear it all the time. They say, do not legalize marijuana. It is a gateway drug. It opens the door towards other problems they've seen escalating across the state of Wisconsin.
Well, if you think my advocacy for sensible, science-based marijuana policy has ended. You're wrong. Good people do smoke marijuana.
Well, Crudy, here's
Scott Walker's a freaking loser.
The headline from Meg Jones: Milwaukee County medical examiner investigates 6 overdose deaths over the weekend. And Crudy, you know what?
Really just in one night.
4 died in Milwaukee, 1 each in South Milwaukee and West Dallas, as authorities continue to grapple with the ever-worsening opioid crisis. Nobody dies from marijuana, but we just had 6, count them, Governor Walker, over the weekend.
Well, opioids addict people, kill people. Marijuana, a treatment for opioids. Anyways, want to thank our fine guest, Dr. Tim Slekar, and the unofficial, unscientific straw poll. We don't have the final tally.
I got a pretty close tally. Number 1, not even close, Kelda Roys.
She kind of ran away with it, did she not?
She did. Number 2, Kathleen Weinhaut, and 3 tied for number 3, Groenick, Malin Mitchell, and Dana Wax.
No votes for Evers or Soggy Soglin?
Or Crudy.
Oh, come on. I had the one guy. Thanks for listening. Yeah, I'll probably do this again tomorrow from the bunker. Have a great night.
Pay for play. It's illegal. I mean, it's illegal.
The United States on America.
Very powerful.
180 over 111, and I had a stroke. I couldn't speak or walk.
150 over 90, and I had a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure sounds like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a stroke are far from silent. Get back on your treatment plan or talk with your doctor to create a plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
Head to toe, everything's changed.
Brought to you by the American Stroke Association, American Medical Association, and the Ad Council.
You concerned about speaking up at work? Do you feel like you have no say in your day-to-day work routine? Join Teamsters Local 344. Call 414-258